Welcome to Micro Terrors. Scary stories for kids, where it's always the spooky season, full of chills, thrills, and spine-tingling spooks. Micro Terrors are family-friendly frights for those ages 8 and up. And while our stories are for younger ears, we are still talking about things that go bump in the night, and some children may not be able to handle what others can. Parental consent is recommended. Now, for tonight's Micro Terror.
Dead Cheese by Scott Donnelly. It was the last day of school before spring break, and Adam strolled home, taking the sidewalks that snaked through his old neighborhood. Every so often he'd see a loose stone in his path and would kick it as hard as he could. Sometimes they'd launch into someone's yard. Other times he'd aim for the street. One particularly large stone he came across he gave an extra hard kick to. It stung his big toe as it soared through the air and bounced across the street, settling by a sewer drain embedded into the curb. Adam stopped and gawked at it. He was immediately overwhelmed with the same feeling he usually had when he saw a stick that he regretted not throwing into a pond, or a bush along the sidewalk that he never ran his fingers through on the way by. That stone needed to be kicked down the sewer drain. Adam looked both ways down the street, and when he was certain there were no cars coming, he sprinted across and one-timed the stone directly into the drain like he was a professional soccer player. The stone clanged off the metal framing of the drain and dropped, hitting the bottom of the sewer with an echoing thud. Adam smiled, completely satisfied. "Man, I'm gonna sleep well tonight!" he exclaimed to himself. But then a horrible stench infiltrated his nostrils. It stunk like old, rotting garbage mixed with dead animals, mixed with Grandma's shoes. Adam wrinkled his nose and backed away from the drain. The smell was starting to make him gag. That's when he heard a soft, scratching noise coming from within the sewer drain. It sounded like claws scraping against metal. A new wave of the smell wafted up through the drain with a vengeance, and with it, the stone flung back out and landed next to Adam's feet. Adam froze for a moment, but then scowled. "Hey, I scored that sewer goal fair and square!" he shouted, kicking it right back down into the sewer. It hit the bottom again, repeating the echoing thud, only this time there was another noise with it, a high-pitched squeak, like that of an angry animal. Adam crouched down and slowly approached the drain. He peered through the metal grate, but it was too dark to see anything. "Who's down there?" he called, but only his voice echoed back. Within the darkness, two tiny red eyes appeared. Startled, Adam stumbled backwards and stood to his feet, keeping his eyes on the sewer drain. Then, popping up from between the metal grates, he caught a glimpse of the mystery creature. Piece by piece, he saw ragged ears, a wrinkled snout, and thin, stringy whiskers. It was a rat, but not a normal one. Its fur was matted in some places and completely gone in others. Its ribs were exposed and its teeth were rotting and jagged. One of its ears was split in half and its eyes were all red. It opened its mouth wide as it crawled out of the sewer and towards Adam. It released another chilling, high-pitched squeak. "Zombie rat!" Adam whispered to himself, amazed by the sight he was witnessing. The rat did indeed look dead. He'd seen rats a lot around the neighborhood, and none of them ever looked like this. Whenever he'd see a rat in his neighborhood, he'd leave out chunks of cheese for it. Cheddar, mostly. Sometimes Monterey Jack, whatever his parents had in the crisper that day. Once he even left out a nugget of Gouda just for the heck of it. The zombie rat hissed and began to scurry quickly in Adam's direction. Adam tossed his hands up to stop the rat. "Whoa! Stop!" he panicked, and to his surprise the zombie rat stopped. It squealed another undead squeal and flicked its worm-like tail. "I can get you cheese," Adam pleaded. "I do it for all the rats. Well, all the living ones, I can do it for you too." The rat seemed to understand. Maybe this was once a rat that I had cheesed up before, Adam thought. He turned and ran home as fast as he could. Blasting in through the front door, he beelined it straight for the fridge. He scoured deep in the back, behind the milk, under the pickles, and searched the bowels of the crispers. Finally, in the butter compartment, the little closed-off chamber his dad used to refer to as the butter throne, he found a hidden knob of cheese, white in color, plastered by dark blue splotches. Adam gagged and turned his head. "Ugh, blue cheese!" To Adam, blue cheese always looked like it was rotting away from its core. "Whoever voluntarily eats this stuff has some serious problems," Adam exclaimed out loud. He cautiously glanced back at it, expecting to see the dark splotches pulsate or sprout hair or something. "You look just as dead as the rats," Adam told the cheese. Then something clicked in his mind. Maybe dead rats like dead cheese, he thought. Adam put on some old swimming goggles, slid his hand into his dad's hockey gloves, and tossed on his mom's apron before using a pair of tongs to pick up the dead cheese. He walked outside and down the street to where the zombie rat still remained in the road. "Here!" Adam exclaimed. "Take it! Eat it!" Adam then heaved the knob of blue cheese at the rat. Some of it crumbled to his feet upon the launch, but he was quick to hop out of the way to avoid contact. The zombie rat quickly devoured the repulsive, decomposing morsel of decaying dairy. With his bony stomach satisfied, the zombie rat fled back into the sewer. Adam went home as well. He tossed the apron into the dirty laundry hamper, threw away the goggles and hockey gloves, and ran the tongs through the dishwasher. Twice. He sat down on the couch after he considered his ordeal over and done with, and then took in a huge, deep breath. But just as he was about to release it, there was a soft, scratching sound at his front door. Adam stood up, crossed his living room and opened the door, but was surprised when there was no one there to meet him, at eye level. Pretty quickly, though, he heard the dead squeals, and this time more than one, more than 1,000. Adam looked down. Blanketing his yard and even stretching out into the street and into other yards were thousands and thousands of gaunt, decaying, zombified rats, and they all looked hungry. Mom?" Adam called back into the house without removing his eyes from the oscillating expanse of zombie rats. Do we have any more blue cheese?"
Thank you for listening to Micro Terrors. Join us each Saturday for another scary story. For more fun, visit our website at microterrors.com, where you can get the latest Micro Terrors news, read fun facts about each story, sign up for our monthly newsletter, and even send in your own scary story for us to tell. Plus, you can become one of the terrified by joining the fan club at microterrors.com to enjoy exclusive perks like reading stories a week early, receiving complimentary books, and communicating directly with Micro Terrors writer and creator Scott Donnelly. You can also follow us on Facebook and Instagram using the handle @MicroTerrors. I hope you'll join us again soon for Micro Terrors, scary stories for kids.